Before white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and white nationalists marched in Charlottesville, Virginia in August, they were organizing behind a computer screen. And a lot of that organizing happened through a messaging service called Discord, which was originally created to connect video game players to one another. This is just the latest in the long-running shared history between the gaming community and the alt-right.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. Video games are responsible for people becoming really mean and racist. I imagine these people must have played a lot of League of Legends. Can you imagine that chat, that opening chat? May or I become a white supremacist. Too many feeders in their promos made them racist, man. Alright, let's see where this woman takes us.
Gaming culture has always been racist, it's always been sexist.
Okay.
But the internet has sort of allowed us to just sort of see what has always been there.
Emma Vossen is a PhD candidate studying how sexism seeded in gaming is replicated in the real world.
You know, honestly, they might really have a point about that whole sexism thing in video games. I mean, just look at this character right here. Now, you really think this character was feminist approved? You think a feminist looked at this character and said, yeah, she definitely needs to be in our video game. So who knows, maybe they might be onto something. Or maybe they're delusional. Who knows?
Her study is based on Gamergate, a movement that began with intimidating and harassing female video game journalists under the guise of fairness in video game journalism.
It's really sad that Gamergate has left that as its legacy, despite the fact that it was a complete and abject failure. I mean, seriously, we still ended up with products like Mass Effect Andromeda, despite the fact that we had Gamergate. I mean, Gamergate was a failure. No, really, it was. Yeah, you don't believe me? I don't know, maybe one day I might make a video about how it was a failure.
It helped catalyze the alt-right movement, which secured power and prominence during the 2016 election cycle.
Well, it is true that the alt-right did gain a lot more power. Well, power so far as popularity and notoriety during that election cycle. I mean, being a gamer and being a part of the alt-right are kind of as related as, I don't know, an acorn in a field of grass. I mean, you might find an acorn in a field of grass, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the grass. So you might find a gamer a part of the alt-right, but they don't really have anything to do with each other. I mean, they're kind of mutually exclusive. Well, they're not mutually exclusive, but they're kind of two different things altogether. One means you like playing video games. The other means, what does the alt-right really mean? I don't know, I'll leave that to the viewer to decide.
Studying Gamergate, and you were really looking at the techniques that they use. It's impossible not to see the same techniques being used by Trump supporters.
And those techniques are? No examples? Yeah, I thought so.
According to Vossen, the gamers and the alt-right share common ground.
As people who are marginalized are fighting for equality, those who've traditionally had privilege, especially white men, feel that they are being oppressed by these people who are trying to just be treated as equal.
I don't know what plane of existence you live in, but gamers have never really had as much power as they have until now in 2017. I mean, back in the early 2000s, being a gamer did not make you a very cool or popular individual. In fact, it made you a target for getting made fun of. We called you nerd, geek, a dork, all those funny things. In the early 2000s, even in the 90s, which I was born in, but I didn't really live in. Those were not the kind of things that most people looked at fondly or as cool or, you know, popular or fun to talk about. You know, you really weren't going to be able to talk to a bunch of, not just like ladies to date, but like people in general, like about video games, and they would know what you're talking about and understand it. I mean, of course, your close group of friends would, you know, because that's how your friends, you know, similar interests, but it was not a popular subject matter back in the day. Video games was not the huge thing that people loved. You were not considered cool if you were a gamer. It was not happening. Now, yeah, maybe like probably around like 2014 did that really start to shift and change, you know, at least from what I understand, around 2014 did I really start seeing a more positive outlook on nerds and comic book culture and all that. But for a long time, for years, no, you were not a cool person. So this whole idea of privilege you obtained as a gamer, I don't know what bizarro land you're living in, but you used to get made fun of quite a bit for loving video games and comic books and whatnot. I mean, anime and whatnot, you're not getting anyone's genes talking about Inuyasha. It wasn't happening back then. You might find like maybe 7 girls who played video games, but not a lot. It's changed now. It's changed a lot now, but as far as privilege goes, no. Gamers were, in the past, were never really much of a privileged group of individuals. You know, oftentimes they were the pariahs of society. That's why they played lots of video games.
Why do you hate black people? African Americans.
They're dirty, they're stingy, and they're just gross.
That guy sounded so much like a stereotypical redneck. I honestly believe that they just hired an actor and he just read a script. I cannot even take that seriously. And the funny thing is, it probably was serious, but I just can't take it seriously. I can't do it.
Xbox Live and PlayStation Network both allow players to chat live while gaming. They have become havens for hate speech against women and minorities.
Why women? You ever notice how these people, like, they never ask probably what I think would be like the critical question, which is like, what did women do to these men to make them hate them that much? Like why? And why would they spend any amount of their time playing a video game just to complain about women? Pretty sure you could do that doing anything else. I'm just saying.
What I had noticed and witnessed was what I call like linguistic profiling, like just based on how somebody sounds, you know, they kind of lash out in like very like inappropriate ways.
Who votes for mission? Do they allow girls to play Call of Duty in America?
Wow, they allow morons to play Call of Duty in America?
Now that, my friends, is the appropriate response to nonsense. Just invisible hat off to her. That is how you deal with BS on the internet. That right there.
Not everyone in the gaming community is sexist or racist. We are having this sort of internal cultural problem with sexist and racist gamers.
It's probably not even a significant fraction. I mean, you're just doing some Mr. Fantastic levels of reaching at this point. I can't even say Mr. Fantastic. Like, you just open up an interdimensional time portal and put your hand in there. You're in a whole other dimension. That's how far you're reaching right now.
So, what happens when these behaviors move from the gaming world to the real world? Keegan Hanks studies the progression of the alt-right on the web.
Discord, as a platform, kind of had a meteoric rise in the alt-right. You know, I think many of the members of the alt-right were actually aware of it because they were also members of the video game community. Many of them are. Discord became almost a requirement for a lot of these people if you wanted to be actively involved in the movement.
I mean, that's certainly possible. Or they just looked up, like, video chatting services, and then Discord appeared. Maybe they looked up alternatives to Skype, and Discord appeared. I mean, there are lots of people I know personally who use Discord and they don't play video games. I'm just saying.
Discord is anonymous and lightly monitored, which allowed the alt-right to control communications and access for thousands of users. Some Discord servers controlled by alt-right leaders made users post pictures of their Caucasian skin in order to participate.
Now that's just goofy. Who can take these people seriously? Oh, where's your white card? You need a literal white card just to join their organizations. As if, like, anyone is 100% white here in America. I don't know, maybe they are. I doubt it, but it's possible. I'm just saying, that's goofy. That's so goofy. Why would you even be bothered? I mean, people are gonna go that far to where you have to prove your whiteness. Why would you even be afraid of people like this? I don't know. I just don't have the capacity to be worried about people who are gonna make you proof that you're white to talk to them, as if you can't just go find some stock footage on the internet or ask your white friend to take a picture for you. Dude. It's just goofy.
This allowed the alt-right to centralize its message and disseminate information around the Charlottesville rallies. Discord service played a substantial role in fomenting the riots that led to the death of Heather Heyer. After facing pressure, Discord shut down the servers used to organize in Charlottesville. The company stated, "We will continue to take action against white supremacy, Nazi ideology, and all forms of hate." Perhaps not surprisingly, James Alex Fields Jr., the white supremacist charged for Heyer's death, was no stranger to video games. In 2010, his mother filed a complaint against him, claiming he struck her in the head and locked her in the bathroom because she told him to stop playing video games.
Very clearly the problem there was the video game. It had nothing to do with the fact that that man was crazy and out of his mind. No, obviously. He lost way too many promo matches in League of Legends. That's what he was trying to grind. Trying to get the platinum too. It wasn't the fact that the guy was out of his mind. No. Just, he was getting camped in Call of Duty. That's what made him. Come on. Really? You and I know darn well that he did not kill that woman because of video games. What, you think Grand Theft Auto made him think that if he ran away from the cops, they'd leave him alone? Is that what you're implying here? Because if it is, it's absurd. I don't know what you're implying here, but what I do know is that it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the man was clearly disturbed if he honestly locked his mom in the basement because she told him to stop playing video games. Video games, again, is a medium of which he may enact his vicious, mindset on something, but it's not the video game's fault, and I feel kind of silly even having to explain that. Well, that's the end of their video, and subsequently, the end of mine. I'm not even sure what point they were trying to make here. I mean, they were reaching so far into trying to create some kind of link between video games and white supremacy, but never actually did at any point. I mean, they just said some people who were part of the alt-right or white supremacists were gamers, but that doesn't have anything at all to do with being a gamer. Being a gamer just means you like playing video games. And you can be a really terrible gamer, or you can be a really kind-hearted gamer. It begins and ends with the fact that you play lots of video games. It's just wildly absurd to try to connect this evil ideology with, I don't know, just like a League of Legends or something. Who likes League of Legends? Not, I think. Now that I say those words, does anyone even like League of Legends? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Anyways, with that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you did, man, go ahead and click the like button. And shoot, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.